What's going on, Las Vegas Raiders fans? It's your boy JP Football Fanatics back with you once again with another record prediction video. This time it is for the Las Vegas Raiders. The coach in Josh McDaniels, the new quarterback in town, not a Derek Carr, but now a Jimmy Garoppolo who has had a lot of experience in the league with winning and has also played under Josh McDaniels at some point down the road when earlier in the road when they were playing in New England together. Well, not playing, but Coach McDaniels coaching the OC, the offense, calling the offensive plays for Jimmy Garoppolo when he took over for Tom Brady for a couple of weeks when he was suspended in New England. So, coach, quarterback, found the two of them came back and found each other together. Couple other Patriots players that also have signed playing with the Raiders this season. Jacoby Myers being one of them. That should really help out with the Raiders offense this year with Devontae Adams, Matt Collins, Josh Jacobs, and Foster Moreau and Hunter Renfrow. Like this team is loaded right now with offense. A pretty good offensive line, a good enough quarterback that's going to get you some wins this year. And the only questions you really do have is really defense. Like, how much more improved is the defense? Are they going to be a stellar defense? Are they still going to stink it up? Let's be honest with you, as far as that goes. Are they still going to stink it up on defense? Or are they finally going to turn over a new leaf now that the Derek Carr era is over in Las Vegas? Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Raiders. It's your boy JP Football Fanatics giving you the analyzation of the Raiders for the 2023-24 season. Before we begin, please be sure to drop a like on this video if you have not done so already, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button as well and hit the notification bell, because anytime that I am posting new content on this channel, it's going to help the channel grow to be bigger and better than what it is already. And I want that. I want this channel to grow. I love talking about football with you guys, and I want it to continue that way. So if you could please do all these things, help this channel grow. If you know anybody that's a football fanatic, refer them to me, because I am the guy that wants to be able to do the things in terms of football and help this channel grow to be bigger and better than what it is already. And without a further ado, let us get started with analyzing the Raiders' schedule for the 2023-24 season. Let's begin. Here we go. We got the Las Vegas Raiders here, the schedule. A couple of things I'm going to go over about the Raiders. I think the Raiders, on paper look like a very, very good team. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to go in there and say that they're frauds, because they're definitely not a fraudulent team by any means. I think they're a team that's, on the not on the rise, but I still think they need some work to do in terms of defense and things like that, and maybe some coaching staff and everything like that. But a lot of Raiders fans and a lot of football fanatic fans are not a big believer in Josh McDaniels. I always liked Josh McDaniels. I always liked him as the OC for New England. He's always done a lot of good things there, calling the offensive plays and working under Bill Belichick and working with Tom Brady to call good offensive plays. I just think that he needs some more time and he needs some more pieces to work with. The whole Derek Carr experience didn't exactly work out in his favor. So now he's got Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they should look better this year. And I think offensively, they're definitely better. They're getting themselves better on the right track. So let's take a look and see how I think their season will go this year based off of the teams that they play. Week 1, you play the Denver Broncos in Mile High in Denver, Colorado. I think you guys get that win. Josh McDaniels is going to get his 3rd straight win over the Broncos. The Broncos are a team that will probably get better this year under Sean Payton, but I still have a lot of questions about them. I still don't think they're really up to par yet. I still think they need some more time to really develop. Week 2, you play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. The Bills should be able to beat you. Could I potentially see you guys upsetting the Bills? Absolutely. I think the Bills are always due for at least a couple of losses here and there and losing to a team that they should beat. So, this early part of the season is where the Raiders are really, really, really hot. So I can most definitely see the Raiders beating the Bills. Absolutely. Week 3, you play the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going to get your revenge this year on the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, and you're going to go in there and you're going to beat the Steelers this year. Now, the Steelers defense is still very, very darn good. But I think playing in Las Vegas, playing in, I guess you could say, like indoor facility is definitely much better for the Raiders. They play better. And they also just overall, I always feel like the Raiders are more of a West Coast team that always plays better when they're on their own side of the country versus when they come to the East. So that's just my honest opinion. But you guys should be able to beat the Steelers. I think you guys can do that in week 3. Week 4, you play the Los Angeles Chargers. I think you're splitting with the Chargers this year, like I explained previously when I was doing my Chargers prediction video. I think you guys are going to lose to them in week 4, but then you're going to go down later on in the at the end of the season in week 15, and I think you can beat them on Thursday Night Football. Jimmy Garoppolo will get himself going at that time, and maybe they might be able to push for a late playoff run, but we'll see. Then you go into week 5, you play the Green Bay Packers. This will be like a Devontae Adams revenge game here on a Monday Night Football. So I kind of like how they put this game on a Monday night. That's interesting for me. I think the game could go really either way. The Raiders could definitely win this game, no question. But I could also see the Packers coming in and finding a way to upset them. And Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. I could definitely see that being the case as well. But I think the Raiders offensively is a lot for the Packers to handle. And we're definitely going to see a Devontae Adams and Jair Alexander matchup going on in this game. No question about it. So I'll say you guys can beat them in week 5 at home. I think if you're at home, you could probably beat them. And we'll kind of, try to understand and come to the realization of what Jordan Love really could be in this league. I think he could be successful, but I think right now with what they have on paper right now is not really showing me offensively that they're ready yet. Week 6, you played the New England Patriots. Last year, you beat the Patriots in the most shocking fashion possible, where Jacoby Myers threw that ball backwards to Chandler Jones, and he ran it all the way back for the touchdown. That's not happening again this year. Bill Belichick and the Patriots will get themselves back on track, and they'll beat you in week 6. Week 7, you play the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Chicago, is a tough place to play too. Couple teams that I feel like could really be, I feel like there's a couple of teams that I feel like the Bears could potentially beat this year. I think the Raiders are probably one of those teams that they could, especially that this game is being played in Chicago. It's tough. It's an October game, so I'll say for right now, I think the Bears can probably go in there. They probably could beat you. I really do think they could beat you. In terms of the run game, I think Justin Fields is probably going to be your biggest problem when he gets the ground game going. Week 8, you play the Detroit Lions. This is on a Monday Night Football game. It should be a very good game. I don't think it's like, definitely probably not the matchup of that particular week per se, but, it's a game that's offensively good. It's Jimmy Garoppolo versus Jared Goff. I think you guys probably, it's tough. It's really tough to really say. Like, the Detroit Lions always play really well at home, so that kind of plays like a big factor there. So I'll say that the Lions actually beat you guys. When you guys do travel on the road, I'm sorry. I just think it's a really, Detroit, for whatever reason, they always, well, not for whatever reason, but they always play well at home during this time frame. So on Monday, and it's a Monday night game, primetime game. So we'll see how that goes. But I could also definitely see the Raiders winning this one though too. Absolutely. Week 9, you played the New York Giants. Another good game right here. I think it's an evenly matched team between the two teams. I think the Raiders actually go in and beat the Giants this year, honestly. Especially because the game is being played in Las Vegas. So, you don't have that advantage of playing in New Jersey or anything like that. So you don't have to travel cross country for this game, which will be interesting to really see and how this game really goes. So we'll see how it really goes this year. But I think the Raiders could actually beat the Giants as like one of those games where probably the Giants should win, but they probably won't win this one. So that's kind of how I look at it. Then you go into week 10 and then you look at the New York Jets being played in Las Vegas. I think you guys, again, it's another tough game. I think it's an either way game that could go really either way. I could definitely see the Jets going in and beating you guys when they're on the road and they beat you guys. Or I could definitely see you guys winning this game and beating the Raiders It'll be like an Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams for the first time ever. They're going to be opposite opponents from one another. So that will definitely be a big, huge factor in this game. And that will be really interesting to really see. So I believe I did. I'm kind of checking back really quickly. I do believe that I do have you guys losing to the Jets, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I do. I'm sorry I'm not really up to date with all this, but I know at some point there was one of those games that I kind of needed to try to figure out and see like where you would go with this and everything like that. I do think I do have the Jets beating you guys, so I think I'll put them down in week 10 for beating you. Then then in week 11 you have the Miami Dolphins on Sunday in Miami. Tough place to play. During this time of year, it's going to be really challenging to go in there and beat Miami. I think the Miami Dolphins go in, and I think they do beat you guys for this particular season. Then you go into Kansas City, you play the Chiefs. Well, not go into Kansas City at this week, but you do play the Chiefs. I think if there's any team in this division this year that's going to probably sweep you this year, I think it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have owned you guys in recent years, although you do put up a pretty good fight against them, and I will give you guys that. I think you guys have always given the Chiefs a run for their money, so that'll be interesting to see. So I think you guys do, not split, but I think you guys are going to lose to the Chiefs this year. Then you go into week 17, you play the Minnesota Vikings. I think you guys beat the Vikings. If the game was being played in Minnesota, I would definitely say the Vikings would win, no question. Neither defense is very good, per se, unless Brian Flores for the Vikings turns it around and gets this team going. But as of right now, I think the Raiders probably could go in there and they probably could beat you guys, especially now that this game is being played in Las Vegas. Then you go into week 10 and then you have to go play the Indianapolis Colts. I think you guys should be able to beat the Colts. The Colts are not, a team. They're a team that's kind of like, getting ready to, turn it around. They're kind of a team that's probably going to try to play their hearts out and be able to try to win a couple of games and hope that their quarterback they chose in Anthony Richardson, who probably will be playing at this point in the season, is their guy. But I think the Raiders spoil that surprise and they beat you guys, and you beat them in week 17. Then in week 18, you play the Broncos yet again. I think the Broncos actually get that revenge, and they don't. I think Josh McDaniels will lose for the first time in his head coaching career to the Denver Broncos. So right now we're looking at a 7-10 record. I could potentially see you guys actually like one of the other teams that I think I think you could beat. And I'm sorry if I'm changing it, but I think I am going to change you guys in beating the Jets. That could really be a potentially, a game that could potentially, be the case of where the Raiders may or may not make the playoffs, depending on how other teams in the AFC do. So overall, I have the Raiders right now at 8-9. A season that I feel like could be better, but I think this is like, maybe next year they'll get better, but they have to really show that their defense is ready to go. And that's really the biggest point that the Raiders have to be able to make if they want to take it to the next level. And Jimmy Garoppolo will get you wins, but right now he is your bridge quarterback. He is your guy that's going to win you some of the biggest games in the biggest moments, but he's not going to be the guy that takes you to the Super Bowl. So 8-9 is a pretty reasonable record here. When you have to play the Broncos and Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, and when you have to play Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and then you got to play Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid for the Chiefs. So let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the Chiefs this year? I'm sorry. What do you guys think about the Raiders this year? Do you think they're a team that is better? Do you think this is a better team this year? Do you think they're below or under 500, or above 500, or do you think this team is going to be right around where they were last season? Let me know in the comments down below. It's your boy JP Football Fanatics telling you to please drop a like on this video, and please be sure, if you have not done so already, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well, because anytime that I post new content on this channel, I want to help this channel grow to be bigger and better than what it is already, and helping me subscribe and building that bigger fan base is going to help me in the long run. So please do that for me. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Raiders this season. It's your boy JP Football Fanatic saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. Peace.